Alright, so we're on our way to hear how the lockdown has affected those in the restaurant industry.
If I'm not working, there's no food on my table.
Want to see the curfew taken away. Obviously, we want to see the alcohol ban taken away. And we want restaurants to operate at full capacity because, I mean, if taxis can do it, why can't restaurants?
If we can also be saved or get a bailout like the taxi industry, that would be great. But not being able to serve alcohol or being able to open later at night just kills our industry. It's been 5 months, we've been paying all of the staff out of my pockets. There is no more money, so this is our last resort. If no one hears us now, there's nothing else we can do but start standing with these and asking for money instead. People that are scared, I respect it. Stay at home. Safe yourself, you know. But the rest of us, the young ones and the ones who are not scared of the virus, let us do our jobs and let us get some money into the economy.
100%.
Yes.
Awesome.
It's really sad that all these small businesses that really make up and have successfully and positively grown the economy and contribute to the economy are now being cut off at the knees, where yet they're willing to consider all these big business rescues and funding for SAA. Why does that, you know, a business and a company that has not contributed positively to our economy for years, why is that getting relief and business rescue plan and it's as if we are being punished, those that do contribute to the economy month to month?
Is this going to be another Zimbabwe? So is that really where we are? I mean, that's how we feel now.
This is definitely something to do with our livelihood. We buy food for our families but we're now with the restrictions, it's like we're not making any money at all. The shops are closing down because of the restrictions. The government must slow down on the restrictions. Taxes don't contribute anything don't pay tax, they don't contribute anything that helps the country. It's just straight into their families.
We're suffering because of the lockdown. We are failing to feed our families. So we came out here today to voice our concerns, to tell the government that we need our jobs back. That's all we hear.
If the government can hear us, if they can hear us out, and maybe at least we can survive, we will be able to meet the bills, buy some food, and once again go back to work.
Thank you guys.
We have been obviously closed since the end of March, and we are technically cut off at the knees without any opportunity to make a living. We are being forced to not work, and yet we are not receiving any relief from government. Only relief I was able to receive was actually taking out a loan. The restrictions 100%. Forcing us to not be able to trade. We are a big sit-down restaurant. Liquor makes up 1/3 of our sales. We tried to open and pivot our business and do takeaway only trading in May and June, and we actually found that we incurred greater debt.
Well, what we've seen in the industry now is that hardly any customers are coming out because they want to have a drink when they sit down to have a meal. They're scared to come out because of the curfew. They have to rush home to get at home by 9 o'clock. We actually have 2 restaurants. We've had to close one. We have 100 jobs on the line, of which we've been able to re-employ about 20 people. So we have 80 people with no jobs.
We are here to save our jobs and our restaurants.
Yes.
Yeah, so we don't have any source of income. Just want government to help us to end the lockdown so we can start our lives.
Why are you out today? What is your goal with this protest? What is?
Well, we're from News Cafe and we have a big night trade and day trade. 70% of our income and our staff work the night shift. And that's mostly why we're here, is because we need to save their jobs.
Exactly.
Currently our staff are working 3 days every 6 days, and some only 1 shift a week, which is unacceptable.
Are your staff battling to put food on the table, battling to
Of course,
survive?
if they don't work, they don't get paid. End the curfew, end the lockdown. Think about the people that are affected.
Because who wants to go out and not have a drink while they're eating? You can't actually make ends meet. We're actually just paying our staff to be there at the moment. We don't even get a salary. We're only paying our staff and paying the suppliers. And we're still battling with a backlog from the last lockdown. We can't even pay the rent. But I mean, if you think about reopening a restaurant, it costs so much money. It costs us 200,000 rand just to reopen from lockdown, just to restock again, because you can't use all that old stock again. That's what people don't understand. And they say it's just a simple thing of just closing and opening, closing and opening. It's not. It's actually having to restock, redo everything, rebrand.
I've got a few, but I'm in the debt. No income for 3 months. Savings is gone, no rent to pay. I don't have the savings.
And yes, we understand the lockdown was necessary to get prepared, but we are prepared now. So then why aren't we taking the necessary steps to get ourselves back onto the right foot? I mean, I don't have kids, but I would hate to have that fear for my kids to not being able to get a job, to pay for the food, to feed them. About the education that they're not getting. But what about those kids that are having to now be delayed by an entire year?
Okay, my frustration with the current situation, yes, this is a joke, I know. It's very true though, it's very true. But it is a joke. But the main situation is half of my friends that are very close and dear to me have lost their jobs. And they are suffering. Everyone's having to move out of their homes. They can't afford their rent. They can't afford this. They can't afford schooling anymore. Thousands, millions of people have become homeless, jobless, and unemployed, and it's just too much.
The fear now to even go outside.
How do we pay the rent? The landlords want their money. Now, I mean, if you're going to get sick, you're going to get sick. I mean, everybody's going to get it in some form, whether you get it slightly or maybe not, but you can maintain social distancing, you can wear your mask, you can sanitize, you can do everything that needs to be done, but you can still make a living. Why are we the only country that they're doing this to? Why is no other country being locked down on curfew? There's no smoking ban, there's no alcohol ban. You speak to any other restaurant in any other country and they all say it's so ridiculous.
It's ridiculous.
I mean, what actually are they, what are we achieving? They are trying to cripple it. Yes, no, they are trying to cripple the economy. They are trying to hurt us. Definitely, everybody feels it.
Open the restaurants, let everybody trade, and just, what happens, happens.
Exactly.
I mean, full support of what the restaurants are doing. We need it open.
We need some more asses in the seats. A lot of people don't want to come and eat out because they can't have liquor now. But if we can have liquor back, then we're back into business, and then we can save some lives by giving people jobs.
Our last savings are now becoming our daily bread. And because of that, the people that are earning minimum wage, I'd hate to know what they're trying to feed themselves with, because I'm battling for 3 months now, and yet I'm sitting at home doing nothing because I can't do anything. Because everything, I mean, I work on a wine farm and everything revolves around the wine farm. So you take that away, you take everything away from you.
The wine farms are now having to close their doors after 200, 300 years of operation. It is absolutely catastrophic. And then hotels, bed and breakfasts, restaurants, anyone in the entertainment industry, bottle stores, there are millions and millions of people's lives that are affected. The government couldn't get the hospitals ready in time. They had a very simple job to do and they did not do it. And now millions of people's lives are suffering because of this. And blaming us as citizens for their incapability. It's not about color, it's not about race, it's not about class, it's not about anything. And
it's not about economy versus lives, it's lives versus lives. There's a lot more lives affected in the long term.
100%. 100%. We all were very obedient and we listened, but now with this curfew and now with the ban on alcohol, the ban on cigarettes, It's just absolutely ridiculous.
Government. Why should I still have to pay all my rates and taxes? I've still got rent, water, electricity, all these huge overheads due without being able to earn a living. We all live month to month, and I think that's a kind of a falsehood in the restaurant industry. I think most people think that restaurants and restaurateurs have these huge stashes of cash and have these huge reserves of money. We don't. Restaurants really do survive month to month, and we rely on cash flow. As an owner, I haven't been able to draw a salary from my business since February, so I'm also surviving off my UIF.
So the Foma app basically shows people in the area where the closest restaurants are to them. Okay. We found it a problem because there isn't like much updated information out there with regards to like specials and events. So everything's pretty much outdated when you go and search for a special online in your area. So yeah, so that's why we created the app, because we needed it ourselves. And we're just out here supporting it today because we believe that the government really isn't taking care of all the restaurants. And we need to stand up and make a difference. They went through the whole takeout phase where they could only do takeaways, which, I mean, many restaurants can't even break even on that. They can't sell alcohol, which also cuts down their profits, because a lot of the restaurants' profits are made on alcohol. And also the curfew is impacting restaurants like crazy, because I mean they have to close the kitchens at like 7 o'clock.
Who's wrong and who's right?
ANC is corrupt.
In the lockdown, treated like it was the flu.
ANC had 26 years. Look, Eskom had 13 years. Enough's enough. That shit needs to stop. That's all I can say.
You see, I really miss the pubs. I really miss the pubs and all the beers, everything that comes with it. The girls, obviously, is a bonus. Give us our freedom back.